6 Minutes Season 5. The Season of Unknowingness. The final chapter of the 6 Minute sequel.
There are kids in this world who are different. Special.
One of them found us.
And became family.
But her time ran out. And now, that girl is missing.
In this episode, I'll be breaking down the latest episode, 6 Minutes Season 5, piece by piece. Hey, Review Pop listeners, it's your Landon Mueller. We're here today talking about episode 42 of 6 Minutes Season 5, which is so crazy. It's just wild to think that there are only 10 episodes left of the season, which started all the way back in October, and as you guys know, the finale of Season 5 will be premiering on September 29th for subscribers, and a week later for everyone else, and I'm super looking forward to diving into this one, but we saw so many great moments from 6 Minutes in this episode. It heavily relies on flashbacks. You know, it was so interesting to hear David Kreisman talking about how this episode is inspired by one of his favorite TV shows, and I think it really shines through. And again, the sound design is really great, the music cues work so well, But yeah, without further ado, let's dive straight into this one.
You're leaving?
Only because I have to keep you safe, to keep us all safe.
I don't understand.
I know. Hopefully one day you will. But I'll be back, my precious girl. I promise. I'll never leave you. Not for real.
And I'll be here.
I mean, even going back to Season 1, this is something Brynleigh has talked about a bunch. The last time she saw her mom and how her mom leaving made such a big impact on her life. It made her the independent woman that she is. And I think it's so prolific and important to hear this scene, hear, the emotions that Brynleigh felt saying goodbye to her mom and never knowing when she'd come back. But ultimately, I think this clip is so great. Dave kind of discussed on Rewind having, Brynleigh play a young Brynleigh, or having Brynleigh be in a younger body. I thought that concept was very interesting, because it doesn't necessarily sound like a very young Brynleigh, but at the same time, we kind of get that idea that Brynleigh is in a younger body, and she's watching that scene of saying goodbye to her mom, that moment in 6 Minutes history, and I think it is so great.
Holiday, how'd you know that?
I was homeschooled? Right, Brynleigh? Hold on. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be somewhere else!
Where are you supposed to be?
Huh?
It's me, Pen. You're back here in the closet?
Closet.
I thought this was such a creative way to use Shahadi's voice lines. As you guys know, I love Shahadi Wright-Joseph. I think she's such an incredible actor. She did such an incredible job playing, Holiday in Season 1 and Season 2, and she really is the heart of the original series. So hearing her reprise her role or, having these voice clips from the original show, I think it is so great. And we hear Brynleigh talking to Holiday here, and just, Chris and the team, they did such a great job mashing up these scenes and incorporating the old lines, which I think is so exciting. I think, this is from one of the first episodes of the show. It's so great, and you can just kind of hear how the sound design has evolved, right? This is from a very early episode where the sound design is a lot different, and obviously the sound design has definitely evolved in 6 minutes. the music works really well, putting in the new music here, but still I think it's so great.
The truth is, I'm scared and confused. And I don't know what happens if I can't stop this. Am I going to spend the rest of my life just bouncing from one time period to another? Rest of my life. One time period to another? Oh, now what? I'm in the woods? They're snowmobiles.
I want to dive into first the headspace of Brynleigh and what she's going through mentally. You can hear her start to slowly break down, not knowing what to even believe at this point, right? She's being dropped in all these different moments that are unfamiliar to her, of the other world, and she's so lost and she's so confused, and she's used to being in the world she knows. And I think this has to be so challenging for her to, live all these moments and have really no context as to what's going on. I think it is so strong. And she sounds very emotional here, so vulnerable. We think of Brynleigh as always keeping herself together, but this is a Brynleigh that's vulnerable, that's expressing the way that she feels. I think, Brynleigh is such a phenomenal character, and hearing her go through this is very, very challenging. But I also want to talk about, once again, the sound design is great. We heard that transition into the other moment in 6 Minutes history, which happens to be one of my favorites.
Do you love him?
Oh,
No time to be coy, girl. If it's one thing I know about us, it's that we say what we feel. Do you love him?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Then find him.
We don't really hear, and I was talking about this earlier, once again, we don't really hear Brynleigh expressing her feelings a lot of the time. A lot of the time, she puts up a tough version of herself, and she tries to be strong, and she tries to be brave, but in this moment, she's really expressing the way she feels, which is something we don't hear a lot, and it's really great that she still loves Cyrus, and that their bond is so strong. And we've kind of heard a lot this season that Cyrus is her anchor, and it really goes to the core of the show, what 6 Minutes is about. It's about family, and, Cyrus is her anchor. They have such a strong bond. They've been through so much together. We hear later in this episode when they're in the jail cell together, and just learning more about their bond, I think, is always great. And I love how, Guinevere's trying to help Brynleigh here, and she really does care about Brynleigh. We have another clip for that, and I'll dive into that even more. It's really amazing, and I'm looking forward to seeing them be together again and seeing what happens when they finally meet again.
You don't remember all of this, but Cadence brought you home as a baby and gave you something I never had. A real family. Friends, good people like the Anders who cared about you.
In Season 1 and Season 2, it's about Holiday finding her place in the world and finding her place with family and realizing she can count on family. And now in Season 3, we had, in Season 4, we had Brynleigh looking for her mother, and that's still true in Season 5, right? Her trying to find her way back to family, and I think that's so strong. But really, in the process of looking for her mother, she's leaned on her other family, right? The Anders, and this always makes me think of that moment in Season 2 where Monica expressed how much she cared about Brynleigh and Casey, and that they were like her daughters, and I think that's so strong. And it shows that you can find family in people that aren't blood. But I really do think that theme of family is so strong, and I think it's great that we hear Guinevere saying that. Guinevere really does care about Brynleigh so much, and Guinevere wants Brynleigh to have a better life than she did.
I'm sorry that my family and our situation hasn't made it any easier. You keep saying you don't have anyone and that people leave, but
Yeah?
we haven't left you, Brynleigh. Not for a second.
But honestly, I think this moment hits hard so strong because it is one of the first moments Cyrus and Brynleigh really got close, right? Or at least Cyrus was honest with Brynleigh. All this time he had been taking these negative comments from Brynleigh, but really, when he expressed the way he felt, I think that took them a step forward. And they have such a strong bond, and it is because they took these little steps and got closer and closer, and I think it is so great. And it just goes to show how much has happened between them. This again goes back to that theme of family. Cyrus wants Brynleigh to feel like, she's being taken care of. Their family really does care about her, even Cyrus, right? And I think this clip is so great.
This is where Cyrus was when I talked to him on the phone. He must be here. Cyrus! Are you here? Hello?
Brynleigh? Is that you?
Who are you?
So, Brynleigh is back in 1989. Wow. Yeah, that is definitely unexpected, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Is it still Christmas Eve? I'd assume so, but yeah, this is super exciting. I can't wait to see what happens between Brynleigh and Katie. They are just so great together. Thank you all so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please leave a 5-star review.
Until next time, this is Landon saying peace, love, and time travel.